Hello, everybody. Wild Chevy here. Welcome to the Atomic Salt Live Show. This is the weekly live show where we're going to discuss all things in the tabletop world. This week, we're going to be talking about the newly announced Infinity RPG. As always, I am joined by my buddy, Casey.
Sorry, jumped the gun there, Alan. I'm just really excited to talk about this tonight. But everyone, as always, feel free to join in. You can join our live discussion now, or you can comment below. So either way, we'd really like to hear from you, hear your thoughts on the week's subjects. Also, you can help us by liking this, sharing this with a friend, and subscribing to the channel. So,
And if we get a comment from you guys while we're on air, we'll be sure to say hi.
yes, you will get a shout out. So, Alan, let's start off with hobby of the week. What did you get done?
This week I got some paneling done. I guess you call it paneling. Casey got me this from a piece of blades from our buddy over at Sharkman Lasers. It's one of their city tiles, and I painted it up all nice and pretty.
Yeah, gosh, man, that just looks gorgeous. So how did you get that done? Like, what were the steps that you used for that?
I first sealed it with a matte varnish, just
Mm-hmm.
to just to get everything soaked up and sealed. Then I used a lot of hobby paint, just the real cheap stuff that you can get from any hobby store, like the Apple Barrel, the Liquitex brand stuff, and just painted over it. For the texturing and all that, I did sponge. I used so I got the darker colors on there. Used a sponge, went over it, and got a nice texture going on. Even so, like after I did the white lines and everything, went over with the sponge again just to give that
Mm-hmm.
chipped look. And I used watercolors. Used made a wash with watercolor, threw it over the whole thing, let it dry naturally, gave it that appearance of what you'd see out in the real world.
Yeah, and who would have thought the watercolors could be so versatile? But I think
Yeah,
it looks great.
yeah. I just need to seal it up so because I used watercolor, if I get water on it, it'll reactivate. So I need to seal it again. I really wish I wanted to do a photo with do an Abbey Road photo, but I didn't have any Infinity characters without shoes, so it wasn't gonna work.
They do all wear boots, don't they? Well, except for the Wolvers. Yeah, you could do like a bunch of like Wolvers all wolfed out or something walking across the road.
But I don't have any Wolvers. That's the thing.
Anyway,
And also, I've got this bad boy here. I'm going to be starting out soon. The War Games Consortium Infinity Facebook group. They're doing a November challenge for anything 55 millimeter bases. You paint one guy on there, and it's a random prize draw. They'll be doing the draw at the end of the month. So anything 55 millimeter. This is a 40 millimeter base, but the rules have changed, so it is a 55 millimeter. So it is acceptable.
oh, okay, outstanding.
What about you, Casey?
Uh, I have been busy. So first of all, I've been working on these guys right here. If you like how low tech I'm being. So we've got Ajax, then we've got the Myrmidon officer, and we have one more person whose name and rank has been redacted. So if anybody knows who that is, go ahead and comment below or let us know, and we'll give you a shout out during the live show here. So I've got them based, and then also speaking of Sharkman and laser tiles, I've got the other tile, and while you've been making them pretty, I've been beating the crap out of them.
What? What did you do?
So, I'm writing a review for Datasphere on these tiles, and I could do the regular, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, I love it so much, and they're like, yeah, we get that. So I decided to put it through its paces. We're doing drop tests on it, we're doing water damage tests to it, and we are doing accelerated environmental testing on this sucker.
See,
So
this is why engineers can't have nice things.
I every time I get something nice and pretty, and the tiles are nice and pretty, I just want to destroy it.
See, there's this thing called NDI. That's non-destructive, but no, you can't. You can't have it, huh?
Okay, if I could figure out how to make liquid dyed penetrant or eddy current work on this, I would totally do that. I mean,
Well,
mag particles would work. X-ray is kind of pointless.
you've got that nice probe thing that you were showing me the other day. Your microscope probe.
I do have that. I might have to break that out just for kicks. Yeah, an optical micrometer. Yeah, I've got lots of toys at the office. I'll see what I can do. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry, Dex, if you're watching this, but I have been destroying this tile. But you'll be happy to know that it's been holding up well so far. So look forward to a full breakdown along with pictures of what I've done to this poor tile here. Sometime either end of this week or beginning of next.
It's a good thing I take care of my stuff.
Yeah. So if anybody's out there listening to this, send your stuff to Alan. Don't send it to me. I will only make you cry. Alan will make it beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much. You can send that. If you want to contact me, email is wild1chevy@gmail.com. I'll handle all news reviews, unboxings, and I'll make sure your stuff doesn't get destroyed like Casey here.
Okay, not like me, by me. There's a difference. I take good care of myself.
Okay, so Casey, last week we were discussing this little thing, this like hidden thing on the internet called "Are You Ready for the Truth?"
Right.
Friday morning, yeah, Friday morning we found out what the truth is.
Yeah, and so it was so hilarious because the first time I looked at it, I immediately thought they're doing an RPG. They're finally doing an RPG for this. And this wasn't just like a wild guess. Right, here we go. This wasn't just a wild guess because I thought, you know what? What can these guys do? Obviously, they're not going to do a video game. That just doesn't make sense. If Corvus Belli doesn't do anything half-assed. Everything they do is very high quality. So, and a video game of sufficient quality, we're talking almost like a AAA title of what they'd be looking for. A lot of budget, long lead time, and that just doesn't make sense. A book series could be interesting, but again, I didn't think so because Gutierrez, their main idea man, keeps so much of this up in his head. And, he's a big one. I have a hard time seeing him letting a separate author go and take control and start creating fluff and characters. And then finally, Infinity began as an RPG.
Yeah.
Amongst Gutierrez, Carlos, and a couple other people. And so it just seemed natural that they were finally going back to RPG games. And it was even great because, like, I emailed Gutierrez. I'm like, Gutierrez, you gotta tell me. Come on, man. Like, just between you and me, you guys are doing an RPG, aren't you? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue what's going on. I can't tell you anything.
I told you, you should have bribed him with a tie. The guy needs more ties.
Every person has their weak spot. I'm going to find it.
I even, earlier this week, because Gutierrez was off some convention doing like just like the it's kind of like what Carlos does, a little bit of talking about Infinity. And I asked whoever was running their Twitter account, I'm like, has Gutierrez ever been seen without a tie? And they said it's rumored, but nobody's survived long enough to tell the story.
Yeah. So yeah, and then when the announcement came that we've got an Infinity RPG in the works, I emailed Gutierrez back. I was like, I knew it. And I even said it straight to your face, and you didn't even flinch. And he had a good laugh at that one. So yeah, Modiphius. They're doing an Infinity RPG.
Yeah, and I mean these guys really know how to do their RPGs. We've seen them take on Fragged Empire. They've done a lot of other like Cthulhu. They've done a lot of good RPGs. So it's very nice to see them taking on uh, this genre.
Agreed. Infinity is always big on their official partners, and I'm glad that they picked Modiphius because I think that these guys are going to be able to do something really high quality. And the wonderful thing is they're using their 2D20 system, which I really wasn't aware of up until today. But I spent a long time reading through the rules on how this system works, and it's really actually impressive. And I think it's going to gel really well with what Corvus Belli has already developed.
And I think it's like the same system they're kind of using now for Mutant Chronicles. So at least it's something that it's proven before. It's not because I remember them saying that the system, their RPG system that Corvus Belli originally used, was very hard to transfer over, and it made learning the game, and learning the whole system very difficult. But now they have a proven system that they're using in conjunction with the story. So this is going to be easy for new people to get into probably, and very fun for anybody who plays.
Right. And so obviously anybody who plays Infinity has a boatload of D20s. And the system or the 2D20 system works is going to be very familiar. Just a quick overview of it. So suppose you are taking some kind of check, like you're going to shoot somebody. And for whatever reason, this check requires a 14 to pass. So what you need to do is you need to roll under a 14 to succeed, just like an Infinity. And now where that number 14 comes from, that's all based upon whatever is happening. If the guy's like running and jumping, or you're running and jumping, or he's really far away, what kind of weapon you have, what kind of skills you have. The more skills you have, that's just going to bump, just like in Infinity, that's just going to bump that number higher and higher and higher. So it's going to be easier to pass. And just like in Infinity 2, they're going to have criticals. So if you roll currently in the 2D20 system, if you roll a 1 or a 2, that under certain conditions that counts as a critical. And so it's not a single success but multiples. And so
And you
you
can
can
also buy dice, right? You're limited to two, but you can have certain acts or certain quantity, like special abilities that allows you to add more dice.
right as you build up, what are called chronicle points, which the GM can give you for doing awesome stuff, just being a good player, or as you're building up momentum, as you're doing really awesome things, you can, like you said, earn extra D20s to roll against these checks. And so really quickly and you can go out there and you can get the kind of like the beta rules for third edition Mutant Chronicles. It's not very long. I recommend you guys read through it. And you start getting really excited really fast because I think that there's a lot of opportunities. Just very small tweaks, and it's going to fit Infinity perfectly. So I don't think you can come up with a better system for an Infinity RPG.
Yeah, and if folks out there, if you're interested, you can go to areyoureadyforthetruth.com or modifius.com/infinity, and you can sign up for the pre-order and also the beta testers. They haven't sent out anything yet for beta testing, but probably next week is when we're going to see emails for beta testers. And being a beta tester, you actually get you'll get to see the inside of the storyline, and also some of the stuff from the Corvus Belly crew, like some of the original campaigns that they used. So it's going to be very interesting for beta testers. You're going to see a lot of people wanting to get into this thing. So if you want to get in there, hurry now and go over to that website. We'll put a link down there in the description below.
Yeah. The thing about it also being a beta test, I think what this is really interesting is game companies tend to really keep a lid on their product. GW is famous for being a black hole from which no information escapes. Corvus Belly talks a little bit more, but they really like to kind of trickle that information out, and they release it on their own terms, which, again, is fine for a business model. But by doing this beta testing, we're going to see a lot of this book right up front. And so expect to be getting a lot of information, which is also just the way Modifius works. These guys like to talk, they like to run things through, they like to test it all out. And so even as of today, there's a lot of information out there. And we were thinking maybe we would go through just a little bit of that with you guys. We haven't caught up on that. So, Alan, do you want to start off with? We've got a few questions and answers, and we can just kind of go through these. Or
Yes,
you can ask the questions, and I can reply.
I'll let you be Chris Birch. How about that?
All right, he's British. Do I need to talk with a British accent?
No, because I don't think you pull off a Welshman better than a British.
Crikey. All right.
Oh, okay. So, folks, Chris Birch, I believe he's a creator of Modifius. He was over at the War Games Consortium Infinity Facebook page, and he's very active over there. And he said, "Hey, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer as best of my ability." So we have a list here. We kind of edited down to what everybody was saying. So here's what we got so far. Question the first. So how's character creation so far?
It will be a cool life path system, as well as points buy for creating that specific figure or character you like. So you can create your own character or use a pre-generated template.
And we just answered this. What will the dice be involved in the game?
2d20s. We typically have up to 5 for each player in Mutant Chronicles, as you can buy extra dice at a cost. Though we don't know if this extension will make it into the Infinity version. The idea is to give you a chance to get multiple successes and spend those to do awesome things.
Now, are there going to be faction books?
Yes. We'll go into the worlds and resources of each faction, what life is like, and much more. Tailored character generation, life paths, specific equipment, adventure seeds, that sort of thing.
Now, will the game itself have the human sphere as a main point of view, or will it have EI Toha campaigns as a possibility?
Toha characters will certainly be possible. We're still discussing whether Combine Army characters will be playable, or should be playable.
How will character classes work? How many will be available?
You'll have careers that add skills, equipment, talents, and attribute bonuses. Then iconic roles will let you be a part of organizations for each faction. There will be many more with each faction.
Now, are you going to try to keep the stats from the miniature game line like you did with Dust?
We'll be keeping as many familiar elements as we can.
Now, this is a real big. What happens if your buddy, like evil Toha Casey, wants to choose an opposing faction as you? Or will the group have to be the same faction?
That's fine, actually. Remember, the factions are not an open war, and there will be plenty of ways to get caught up together, assigned to work together, or just finding some common friends in a goal. We've got some specific organizations that will encourage cooperation, and there's many storybooks to dump a bunch of misfits together.
Now, I'm assuming that combat will be handled by the different handled by the current miniature game system. So stats be similar and compatible, or that way can we take custom characters into non-tournament matches?
No. It will use the 2d20 RPG system. But this is also a roll on your target number on multiple d20s, and you'll find many familiar things in it. Corvusville tried several times to convert the system, and we're not happy. The goal is to ensure we can tell infinity stories. 2d20 will let you have multiple action scenes in one session that would have taken 2 hours each in tabletop rules. However, we'll be providing means to convert your favorite characters to RPG back again. I get to be a gaze. I'm sorry, that was me. Second.
Now, as long as it comes with conversion system, well managed. It's hoping for a simple way to generate mission NPCs using current army list. We want Angus.
Yes. Odysseus, make Angus happen.
We want Angus. We want Fusilier Angus.
Okay, so Chris Birch replied, you'll have the main NPCs listed, and we're looking at a deck of cards for NPCs, locations, etc. They'll let you quickly generate missions by plan or by random. Just so you guys know, the playtest forum is now ready. It's at www.modifius.com/forum.html and we'll have this link for you.
So can you tell us what stats are and what sorts of non-combat skills exist?
So, quoting you to the Chronicles, remember this will change for Infinity. You have agility, awareness, coordination. As a side, this is how well you typically do with ranged weapons. Intelligence, mental strength, personality, physique, and strength. Lots of non-combat skills from animal handling and persuade to treatment, mechanics, sciences, thievery, observations, etc. Check out the beta on RPG Now for more examples. The rules have changed so much since this was put out, but it will give you some ideas. And as a side, guys, this is what I read through. It takes you like 30 minutes, and you get to see some template characters and a lot of what he's talking about. So I really recommend you go take a look at that.
Now, I know a lot of us love the fluff, or the fluff and the artwork. So, any ideas how much original artwork will be in the book, and are you using the same artist that CB does?
There will be existing and new art. We're not sure yet who we'll be using. It depends if people are.
And this last question was for me. Can we pre-order using PayPal? For myself, I know that when I use my credit card for anything in British pounds, they give me a phone call and ask me if I'm getting ripped off.
Yes, you will be able to use PayPal as well as cards.
All right, that's the list I had. If you guys are interested in reading this list more or sharing it, you can go to the Atomic Salt .blogspot blog, and it'll be posted there tonight. Share it with your friends. And Casey, do you have anything else to add to this list?
I've got one other juicy little tidbit that you guys might be interested in. There may or may not be some tags in this game.
Is that it? You're just going to tell us, yes, there may or may not be tags?
Okay, there will be tags in the game. So, however, tags are going to be kind of like an Uber type unit. You won't have access to them all the time because these are think of the equipment as basically makes you vulnerable to conventional weapons. So when you get access to a tag, you better believe you're going to need it, and some serious crap is about to
So it's just like in all the first-person shooter games, you get into a room, you're like, oh look, there's health packs, all the ammo for my guns. What's the worst that can happen?
happen. Oh, I hate those rooms. Like, if you're not, like, you save your game 2 or 3 times the second you find one of those rooms. I get so paranoid when I play first-person shooters. Like, anytime, like, if I find more than just a health pack in one place, I'm like, oh no, something bad's coming.
We're gonna have a boss battle.
So, guys, it's a short episode tonight because we really just wanted to focus on Infinity.
But I've got some more stuff. Well, I got more releases, I should say. We got a few official release information, a few items that are coming out soon. First up here, we have Bandua. They have their pre-paint. This is going to be pre-painted. Yeah, it's official pre-painted scenery from Bandua Games.
You know, that's kind of interesting because who did somebody else just started doing pre-painted terrain as well.
Plasticraft, was it?
Well, Plastercraft, but then it was also, oh gosh, it was somebody else. They're doing like pre-colored MDF terrain. Antenosities?
Yeah, it might be.
Or it might be Micro. I think it's Micro Art Studios.
If you guys know, put it down in the comments below.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's been Halloween, so I'm coming off of the sugar.
Yeah, he's got a sugar hangover. All right, so we have Bandua. They have their new painted scenery stuff coming out, and also Custom Meeple here has their October releases. They have some new scenery devices, new catwalks. They actually look pretty cool. And they have the stencils for like Hawk Islam.
Oh, nice.
So if you're looking for to spruce up your terrain, you can go check out custommeeple.com. And
yeah, I
then,
imagine it's just a matter of time before they start having stencils for everybody.
yeah. And also we have the new releases for October. These are coming out. We have the JSA support pack, the Coattail mobile unit, the Yanasari with the HMG, the War Core with his little sensor drone, and the Dog Warriors.
Okay, here's the funny thing: is Corvus Belli is so good at what they do. Now, when I look at the JSA support pack, I look at the Kotal, I look at the Yanissari, and even the Warcores, I just go, eh, they're nice, but they don't really get me excited. But here's the hilarious thing: they are so good. They are just so good. They're amazing. I mean, they're like a generation ahead of what anybody else is doing. But for Corvus Belli, this is just like their usual, like, oh yeah, guys, by the way, we're just throwing these out here, and they're just so amazing. And I mean, that's like how spoiled we. This is how spoiled Corvus Belli has made us. That when I see the JSA support pack, I go, nah, okay, that's all right. But like any other game system, like any other game would be killing to have models this good. And these are Corvus Belli's middle of the road offerings.
Oh,
I mean, and
I
then
mean,
initially, like in that same picture, then you see the reason why I say is you just see how freaking amazing those Volvos are.
yeah, that's I mean, those dog warriors. Those guys are mean, aggressive, and that's four separate guys in that pack.
Yeah, I mean, normally you would play it as just two guys because they typically start in their human form and then they get to change into their dog warrior form. Uh, but I mean, the detail on all of them is so amazing. I, I mean, it just kind of blows your mind. And then when you see that, each of those human guys has a specific dog warrior version. So like one guy has a scarred up face, and then you have a dog warrior with a scarred up face. And then Angel, like he's painted tattoos on a human, and then the tattoos carry over onto the Wolver forms. It's just amazingly good. Like it's just stupid. Like I, I want to see them in real life because they're so good. I almost can't believe that they're true, that they really exist.
It's amazing. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, we've talked about this before with Infinity. Everything is useful, and I mean, we saw something else come out this week from another game system that we're not quite sure if it's useful or not. I'm just going to show this real quick, and then we're just going to go somewhere else. And
I don't want to go there.
but I mean, pretty much everything you buy from Infinity is going to be useful in your army in one way or another, which is great because it allows you to buy something and you're not going to just put on the shelf. I mean, you might shelf it for a little bit, but then your gameplay might change up, and you're going to find that shelf item useful. I've got plenty of other uh, armies from another game system that they've just gone defunct, and I just don't even want to use them anymore.
Yeah. It, there is no slack in what Corvus Belli releases. I mean, both in terms of quality and in terms of rules. So yeah, people. I mean, it's really hard to believe when you're playing other games, but there is no really bad unit when you're playing Infinity. There's no useless unit. Everything that you see being released is something that is extremely useful in one way or another. So again, just know that Corvus Belli is so on top of their game.
And we love them. We can't wait to see what's coming out. Uh, believe that the RPG here, we're gonna pop Casey's RPG cherry with this. We're gonna have him running around as probably a schoolgirl, and yeah, we'll put him into a campaign system.
Yeah, yeah, but here's the hilarious thing: because this is Infinity, if I'm dressed up like a schoolgirl, that means I'm actually like an Azura with MSV3 and a Spitfire protector. When you see a schoolgirl in Infinity, you worry.
Well, heck, I mean, look at Ajax. He's got two Spitfires in his little man purse there.
Two combi rifles. Oh,
Two
I
combat
wish it was
rifles.
two Spitfires.
So
So,
yeah,
Alan, we got anything else for everybody this evening?
I believe that's it for me. I mean, it's an exciting time for anybody who's interested in Infinity or even looking to start. I mean, if you haven't bought your pre-order for the N3 book, do it now. You've only got a couple of days left, I believe, and before that comes out. And so, if you want that bounty hunter, go and uh, find your local retailer who's doing the pre-order and sign it up.
Yep. And so, speaking of which, guys, because there is so much going on, uh, right now we're sitting at the first week of November. We are coming into the holiday seasons. There's a lot of new stuff coming out, and we're going to be taking a little break. Next week is going to be our last week of what we're dubbing Season 1, in which we'll be taking a break through the holidays. But then come January, we'll be right back at it, trying to give you guys the best kind of content and information.
Yes, even though we're not going to be doing the show on Sunday, like Casey just mentioned, we will be recording a few things, and so keep an eye out on this channel here. We will make sure to keep you guys updated. If we get anything new, we will post it on the blog. So just keep an eye out on all our socials, and we will make sure to keep you guys up to date.
So, but tune in next week because we still got one more.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Please comment below. Let us know what you think. Like this video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to see more. Casey, anything else?
That's it for me tonight, Alan.
All right. And also, if you are a company out there and you want us to do a review of your newest product, please email us. We are at theatomicsalt@gmail.com.
We're the Atomic Salt, and we've just blown your mind.
All right, guys. Catch you later.